Hi guys, it's Ray here from J4K, just for keepers, hope you're fitting well. So I thought I would shoot this quick video because I read a post on our community which sort of really worried me really. It was a mother basically devastated how the coach spoke to her 11-year-old son, so much so that her son wanted to quit goalkeeping. So I thought not only would I do this personal video for the mother and son, which I won't mention their names obviously to protect their identity, but this will also help so many other parents of goalkeepers and goalkeepers as well, because some of you might be going through what I'm about to talk about right now. I'll guarantee most of you have gone through it in the past, and I'll guarantee most of you will go through this in the future. Okay, so this will really help. Now, before I move on, first of all, apologise about the bad audio. I'm at home, it's Christmas, so first of all, hope you all had a fantastic Christmas, guys, and Santa Claus brought you everything you wanted. And let me take this opportunity, because it's nearly New Year, to wish you a happy New Year, guys. Okay, yeah, hope next year brings all your dreams come true. So basically, also as well, if this is the first time you're watching this as a goalkeeper or a parent of a goalkeeper, check out our free online community. We've been doing this now for over 25 years now. We've coached goalkeepers all over the world. We've helped thousands of goalkeepers achieve their dreams. We've helped tens of thousands of parents of goalkeepers to help their goalkeeper child achieve their dream. We've got a brand new free online community with over 7,000 members, and it's basically goalkeepers, parents of goalkeepers and goalkeeping coaches all over the world, all sharing our experiences, obviously helping with everything goalkeeping. So if you're a goalkeeper or a parent of a goalkeeper, you know it's a very lonely position being in goal. It's a specialised position. Most parents, with the greatest respect, have no idea how to help the goalkeeper child, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because it's such a specialised position. But if you join our free online community, you'll never have to worry about goalkeeping again, because you never have to do this alone, guys. So click the link below, and we look forward to obviously getting to know you personally. So basically, what the post was all about is that the mother said that a son joined a club, only 11 years of age. The coach promised everything, and literally, in her words, completely tore into him that much, destroyed his confidence, that he wanted to quit goalkeeping altogether, which I think is a disgrace, by the way, back from the coach, whether it's done even unintentionally. I think that's really wrong. I'll come to that in a moment. But thankfully, the post is about 2 weeks old now. There's been a bit of an update, and thankfully the goalkeeper, the young man, is getting his confidence back. So well done there for bouncing back. Never let anyone, honestly, goalkeepers and parents of goalkeepers, never let anyone affect your dreams. Okay, yeah, I'll explain how to deal with that as this video goes on. So first of all, how do you deal with this? Okay, when you're a parent or a young goalkeeper and you get tore into. Now, first of all, I don't know the full story, okay, guys, but if it's intentionally, okay. Well, by the way, I'm going to digress again. Sorry, guys. I just want to say as well, I'm not having a go here at the majority of football coaches, soccer coaches. 99% of them do an amazing job. I've got the utmost respect for them, because they're taking time away from their families, from their loved ones, obviously from work, obviously to volunteer, obviously of a weekend. So for the 99% of coaches out there who are doing it for the right reasons, this is not directed at you, okay? There's a minority of coaches out there, I say, unfortunately, who are doing more harm than good, sometimes unintentionally. But my advice is, if the coach is intentional, is nasty, won't listen to anybody, when you're trying to have a word with him or her, they're just like, nah, it's my way or the highway. My advice is to walk away. Okay, yeah, as like a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old, maybe 13-year-old, 14-year-old, you don't need to be around that type of toxic coach. And sadly, what it is with a lot of these coaches, something's going on in their life that's not positive. Maybe they're in a job that they hate, they're getting told what to do by a boss that they don't respect on a daily basis, and their only opportunity to feel good about themselves is putting pressure on children to win over Saturday or a Sunday. Like I say, you don't need to be anywhere, you just need to be away from that type of coach, guys, because you can't speak to them. But let's say it was unintentionally. How do you deal with that? Okay, yeah. So basically, what you got to, and again, I'm not. Please don't think that I'm knocking any soccer coach or football coach here. But if you're a parent or a goalkeeper, and the coach is knocking you, it doesn't mean that they're right. Okay, if they've never played in goal before, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I don't care what they say in the comments, guys. Okay, coaches, if you've never played in goal before, you don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care if you've got your level 1 goalkeeping or level 2. You've been a manager for 10 years. Okay, yeah, you don't understand what goalkeeping's all about, guys. Okay, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that as a parent or a goalkeeper, don't think what the coach is saying to you about you making mistakes is right, okay, guys, yeah, because he might be wrong, okay, yeah. And this is where you need a mentor. I'll come to that in a moment, which is obviously a goalkeeping coach that knows what they're talking about, okay. But also as well, like I say, it doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. It doesn't mean what they're saying to you, what you did right or wrong, that they're right or wrong, guys, okay, yeah, the chances are they will be wrong, okay, yeah, so hopefully that's going to help to start off with, okay, yeah, that they're not always right, for the most part, they're not. But also it really annoys me to this day, to be honest with you, and I know it really frustrates goalkeepers and parents of goalkeepers as well, and if you're a coach, this is going to help you stop doing this, okay. There's nothing worse as a coach who blames a goalkeeper for making a mistake and you've not put this into practice in training. So for example, if a goalkeeper drops a cross at a corner set piece and they drop the cross and the opposing team scores, if you don't practice set pieces, for example, as a coach, you have not got the right to complain or to blame your goalkeeper. That's your fault as a coach, okay, guys, yeah, okay. So please stop doing that as a coach, okay? You cannot be blaming the goalkeeper if you've not practiced it yourself, okay, within training. So again, there's another thing. If you're a parent of a goalkeeper or a goalkeeper and the coach blames you for something, you can, and you've not practiced that in training, you can quite rightly say politely, okay, coach, hold on, we've never practiced that in training. Yeah. If the coach has got anything about them, they'll go, you're right. And just say, hey, listen, I admit it was my mistake, okay, but can we practice this at next training, the next training session, and let's see if they do, guys, okay, yeah. So the first thing, like I say, guys, okay, yeah, is that just because a coach says something to you, it doesn't mean they're right, okay. But again, that doesn't mean that we're arrogant towards the coaches, guys, please, I'm not saying that. But this is where having a goalkeeping coach that knows what they're talking about, just because someone says they're a goalkeeping coach doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. And the best way for you to find out, to be honest with you, it's not qualifications, got nothing to do with qualifications, guys, okay. It's have they played in goal before, okay. If they played in goal for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and I don't mean professional, it could be amateur, okay, yeah, because if they've played in goal before, doesn't matter what level, they've got something that is beyond important, and that's something called empathy. They know what the goalkeeper's going through. They know what the goalkeeper needs to do, okay? So hopefully if you've got a goalkeeping coach, or if you haven't, this is where like a community like this will come in handy. So you need to get advice. So as a parent, you need to go to that coach and basically say to them, hey, coach, look, come in politely. I've got some advice from, again, you say it nicer than this, but I've got some advice from people that actually know what they're talking about when it comes to goalkeeping. And the way you've done it, you really destroyed my son's or daughter's confidence here. Look, we love it here. My son, daughter, got so much respect for yourself. But listen, can we make sure that this doesn't happen again? Now, if the type of coach who doesn't listen to you goes, bar humbug, just get away. Honestly, you don't need to be that, but you don't need to be around that type of coach. But most coaches will go, I didn't realise. Sorry, okay. They might not agree with everything that you're saying. You've got to, you've got to be ready for that, okay. And it's their right, okay. Yeah, it's if they don't get upset if they don't agree with everything, okay. Yeah, okay. Because you've got to learn as a parent and goalkeeper. Sometimes things don't go your way all the time. But if the coach has got anything about them, they'll do something about it. Okay, so there's your options there. The first options, guys. I've waffled on a bit there. If they're not listening, if they're toxic, just move away. Okay. If they're like, yeah, okay. If they're a bit like, yeah, do apologise. Or they might not apologise. They might go, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, next time let's do it a bit differently. You think, okay, cool. As I say, that's the type of coach that you want to be around. That makes sense. Now, I know that you might get people that go, but Ray, they've got to learn to be rejected and all that. I'm going to contradict myself here. It depends on the goalkeeper. Okay, yeah. So if it's a goalkeeper just doing it for fun, and most goalkeepers up until the age of 14 do it for fun. So like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is what I tell my students. Between the ages of 6 and 14 years of age, just go and enjoy yourself, okay? Because most goalkeepers will not make that final decision whether they want to be professional or gain a college scholarship until they're 14 years of age. So until you're 14 years of age, guys, okay, just go and enjoy yourself, okay? Now, I'm not saying every time a coach has a go at you, move to the next club, okay, yeah. That's the wrong thing to do. I'm certainly not saying that, guys, okay, yeah. Just go back to the advice that I've given you. If it's someone toxic, you don't need to be around them, okay, guys, yeah. If it's someone, like I say, who's done it unintentionally and they're prepared to go, yeah, okay, let's work together. As I say, sometimes you've got to accept, yep, I was wrong there, I made that mistake, and you've got to sort of suck it up and move on, because if you want to be professional or gain a college scholarship, guys, you've got to learn to take criticism on the chin, or in my case, chins. You've got to learn to take criticism. But again, for me, okay, guys, yeah, I'm not talking like criticism where someone is just really bad-mannered, toxic. You don't need that type of criticism, guys, okay, yeah. If it's someone who's trying to help you, like I say, even if they're wrong as a coach, as I say, I'm not saying move away from that type of coach, because what you'll find as you get older and you understand goalkeeping more and you've got the right mentor, what will happen is when your coach is saying things to you, okay, yeah, you'll start to understand what they're saying is right and what's nonsense. And what you'll find you'll do for the most part, and again, I don't mean to be disrespectful to coaches here, they'll say something and you just go, yeah, okay, fantastic, yeah. Because if you've played in goal as a goalkeeper, honestly, for 2 or 3 years as a goalkeeper, and your coach has not played in goal, okay, yeah, you know more than your coach, okay. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, okay. But the more experience you get as a goalkeeper, you'll start to realise, okay, that's just nonsense. But then, if you do make a mistake, you don't need the coach. You won't need the coach to tell you you've made a mistake, if that makes sense, because you'll know that you've made a mistake. And when they say, yeah, you made a mistake, you go, yeah, I know, cool. I'll put it right, okay, yeah. And then what happens then, as you get older, 15, 16, 17, 18, and become an adult, that's when, like I say, as a goalkeeper, like I say, a coach, if you don't agree with that coach, okay, as a goalkeeper, if they're blaming you for something, that's when you've got to go, listen, no, sorry, as I say, again, you say it nicer than this, okay, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe, I don't agree with you. Or if you've got a good goalkeeping coach, hopefully they'll stand up for you, if that makes sense. So I've waffled on a bit here, guys, okay, so I hope that helped. The main point that I wanted to get across here is just because a coach, like tears into you, unfortunately, like it did with this 11-year-old, and that shouldn't be happening. That's a disgrace, in my opinion. Obviously, I don't know the full story, but when I read a parent say that the coach has teared into an 11-year-old child, yeah, I would not be happy with that, full stop. That a grown man should not be doing that, period. Even if it's unintentionally, they should not be turning into any 11-year-old, okay? But like I say, the main point that I want to get across here, guys, again, I'm not saying be disrespectful to your coaches, okay? But if they've never played in goal before, guys, okay, yeah, just because they're tearing into you, the majority of the stuff they'll be saying will be wrong. You need to try and find a mentor, a goalkeeper coach who knows what they're talking about. If you can't, join our free online community, because we will help you big time. And the longer that you play in goal, what you'll find as a goalkeeper, and as a parent of a goalkeeper, the longer you're around goalkeeping, you'll start to realise where, on the line, guys, my dad used to do it to me when my coach when I was like 15, 16 years of age, and I'd been in goal for like 5 or 6 years, and my coach would be shouting something from the sidelines. I'd just look at my dad would go, and I'd be like, yeah, over my head, as you say, because the more you play in goal, the more confident you get in your own ability. But like I say, you've got to learn to take criticism, okay? We all have, okay? Because if you want to become a professional goalkeeper or gain a college scholarship, you've got to be able to let criticism just bounce off you, guys, okay? Yeah. But hopefully making sense. I'm going to just quickly digress, but make this point solid. When I mean criticism, I mean constructive criticism. Whether your coach is right or wrong, if they're trying to be constructive and trying to help you, you've got to listen, okay? Even though that you might not agree, even though that they might cheese you off, but you're like, you know what, they're trying to help, okay? And if you've got a good relationship with them, or as a goalkeeper, as you get older, or as a parent, you can speak to them, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool, and they're happy to work with you, that's the type of coach you need to be. And thankfully, most coaches are like that. But when I say about criticism, if you've just got someone who's toxic, horrible, nasty, no idea what they're talking about, just go and find another club. Please remember, there's more clubs looking for goalkeepers than goalkeepers looking for clubs. Hope that helps. Guys, again, if you've gone through that with your goalkeeping, please comment below as a goalkeeper or a parent. If I've missed anything out, please comment below, and obviously help the goalkeeper community. Hope that helps, guys. And once again, all the best for the new year.